I got my hat. We won. We're gonna win. CNN. Let's hear him cry. Come on, CNN.
Supreme Court has finally released its ruling on this long awaited case, saying that Trump has immunity from official acts. In several cases, they cite what official acts may be, but they also leave a number of others open for lower courts to make a final determination on. We're going to be talking a lot about the legal implications of all this. When we first bring in CNN's Van Jones and Scott Jennings. Van, as you look at this, what stands out to you?
Well, it's a very concerning outcome. You know, there's a maxim that says in law, bad facts create bad law. So when you have somebody doing stuff that's so terrible, the stuff that Trump did in office, he creates these bad facts. The court has to come in and figure out what to do about it. It often creates bad law. Basically, the question is, Supreme Court, do you more care about the unlawful conduct of a sitting president or possibly the unfair prosecution of a former president? That's really what they have to balance. They're obviously more concerned about the latter. And so I think politically, it's bad. It makes the Supreme Court look very partisan. They're supposed to be wearing these kind of black and white umpire jerseys or whatever. They look like they're wearing red jerseys or even Maga. It's going to go down bad politically for the Supreme Court. But it's also scary because what is Trump going to do? If Trump gets elected,
we're going to win.
And there's this idea that he can get away with even more stuff. That's really, really scary for the public because he already ran over every norm that he could. So it seems like, I'm just looking at this politically, not legally. Politically, it's almost like a license to thug in a way. Like you can do whatever you want, and the Supreme Court is probably going to let you get away with it. That is very frightening in this case, and so I'm very, very concerned.
Scott Jennings, Justice Sotomayor, essentially makes that argument. So the main takeaway of today's decision is that all of a president's official acts defined without regard to motive or intent are entitled to immunity that is at least presumptive and quite possibly absolute.
Yeah, look, I think there's some amount of overreaction here. I mean, after all, they did kick it back down to the lower court, so some decisions could be made about differentiating between official and private acts. But look, this court has stood up for the office of the presidency and the executive power of the presidency in a way that, you know, may be of some benefit to future presidents. I mean, we're looking at this through the lens of Donald Trump, but, you know, the president of the United States has a lot of power for a reason. And they do take a lot of official actions. And I think about a future where, you know, if it was open season on presidents for time immemorial, you know, what action would any president ever take out of fear of being dragged into a courtroom every time they did it? So I hear Van, and I think there's interesting arguments on both sides of this today. I've listened to some of arguments like what Van has made, but at the same time, I do think the office deserves a lot of protection and a lot of deference because of the special place that it holds in our system. So I'm okay with it, especially because I think a lower court may have decisions to make in the future, of course, depending on the outcome of the election in November.
But Van, just to be clear, even if a lower court makes a ruling, then that can, because what the Supreme Court says is that can be appealed ultimately back to the Supreme Court.
It'll be okay. We love everything.
Yeah, look, I think the Supreme Court is really hurting itself here. I mean, I think most Americans on either side would have preferred us getting some kind of finality around these cases. And when you see the Supreme Court just dragging this out.
Truth is the border's open. We got lots of illegal immigrants in here. They doing bad things, very bad things. And they're getting a lot of our money. So, you know, they got to go. The boys in girl sports, Skelly toe. We ain't doing the boys and the girl sports no more. You understand? We got to vote this. We got to vote this out. You know, the fentanyl and the drugs. I mean, CNN, come on, at least be honest. The truth is you had it all. You Democrats had it all. And in 3.5 years, you lost it all. Let's go. On to the next one.